Hia, Amory's friend, how are you? Property scandal? Jungkook's house makes K-pop lovers excited. Because of this, no one expected that a Jungkook, the golden magne from BTS who is known to be calm, low profile, and far from cheap sensation, is now the center of the world's spotlight, not because of his stage achievements, but because of something that has been neatly hidden behind the glittering walls of his luxury house. The world of K-pop is stunned. Korean media shuddered. ARMY, they split. The scandal that has only been whispered in online forums has now finally surfaced. And who would have thought? It all started from one word that sounds very common: property. Yes, Jungkook's house is now not just a residence. He has become a symbol of power, resistance, and quietly, a national puzzle that ignites debates from Seoul to New York to in a world where all celebrity movements are monitored. Jungkook has been known as a person who does not like to indulge in his personal life. But when a sudden report appeared from the South Korean Property Committee that accidentally mentioned the anomaly of land ownership in the name of Jungkook in the strategic area of Gyeongdong, the commotion began. Anomaly? The land turns out to be not just one, but several plots with a value that, if combined, can rival the presidential palace complex itself. And it's not just the area that makes a stir, but the existence of private roads, military-like security systems, and underground paths that are allegedly connected to a very unexpected place. Not to mention the confession of local residents who mention the sound of luxury vehicles coming at night, and important people who are often seen going down without cameras, without a trace, without a face that is known to the public. Shortly after the report was leaked, social media exploded. Hashtag Jungkook Palace became trending for 3 days in a row, even beating the comeback news of big groups. But what makes this case explode is not only because the house is too luxurious, or because the price reaches more than 300 billion rupiah, but who often goes in and out of the property. An investigation conducted by a popular property vlogger claimed to have identified vehicles belonging to political figures, even CEOs from large entertainment companies who had direct conflicts with BTS's agency. The fact that Jungkook's house became this secret location of this meeting suddenly caused wild speculation. Was Jungkook involved in a massive lobby? Is the house more than just a private residence? Is he preparing something that even Big Hit doesn't know? This issue got worse when one of the insiders from the real estate industry leaked that Jungkook's house uses a complicated and unusual registration system, involving several shell company names, and in its legal structure, the house is listed as part of a strategic residential entity, a term that is only used in the ultra-exclusive property sector, usually owned by a family of conglomerates or high-ranking officials. From here, conspiracy theories are rampant. Some call the house a secret diplomatic fortress. Some believe that Jungkook is preparing to retire from the entertainment world and build a business empire from behind the walls of his house. On the other hand, ARMY tries to defend the idol. They called all the accusations as a form of media jealousy and news capitalization towards Jungkook's fame. But even some ARMY began to question why the house has never appeared in any content. There is not a single vlog, no interior photo, no photo shoot, never seen from the fan site camera. The house seems to exist in another dimension. And what makes it even more confusing is the fact that Jungkook's parents are rarely seen coming to that house. Some sources even mentioned the house is almost always empty, but the electricity and security bills show constant, even intense activity. As the news continued to spread, a former security staff who had worked on the house project finally raised his voice in an anonymous interview. He said, "The house is not just a place to live. I have worked in many artist villas, but this is different. There is a room that no one is allowed to enter, even technicians. I had a chance to see the blueprint for a while. There are 5 underground levels. 5. Even the president only has 2. This statement suddenly made the virtual world a fuss. Why does Jungkook need 5 basements? What is stored there? Controversy continues to grow when a journalist from Western media who is known to often investigate the secret life of celebrities publishes a long article with the title, "The Idol's Fortress. Jungkook's house is more than it seems." In his article, he mentioned that Jungkook's property has a connection with a South Korean military construction project, based on the same type of earthquake-resistant concrete, a security biometric system that only government facilities have. And even, this is the craziest thing, the house is suspected to be resistant to a small nuclear explosion. A former government architect confirmed that there are only 5 properties across Korea that use such types of materials and specifications. 4 of them belong to the state. The only one, Jungkook's house. Fans are getting more confused. On the one hand, they are proud of their idols so successful that they can build a house like a futuristic fortress. But on the other hand, many also began to question the motive behind it. Jungkook himself chose to remain silent. In the last few live broadcasts, he only chuckled when asked about the house. My house. Well, my house, he said while drinking tea and changing the conversation. But his little laugh instead sparked more interpretations. Many consider it as a signal that he is hiding something big. This condition gets hotter when a former big-hit trainee who is now a celebrity in Japan mentioned in an interview that Jungkook used to draw his future house in a notebook. He always said he wanted a house that no one could reach. A house that can be a bunker if the world goes crazy, he said. Those words now sound very relevant. The problem became more complicated when there was a rumor that the house was offered by a prince from the Middle East at a price twice its market value, but was rejected by Jungkook. The reason for his refusal was never known, but an internal source said that Jungkook wrote one sentence in the rejection letter. This house is not for sale. This is my last protection. The sentence then went viral and questioned by many parties. The last protection from what? Now, question after question keeps coming. Is Jungkook's house really just a symbol of success? Or does he keep a deeper agenda than we think? Is the house just a resting place? Or has it become the secret stage of a global star's big plan that is slowly coming out of the shadow of the entertainment industry? Why is the location of the house so tightly guarded that drones are prohibited from approaching within a certain radius? Why did his neighbor, who is a top artist, admit that he had never seen Jungkook in person around the neighborhood? But the most shocking thing happened a week after this scandal exploded. A resident reported that Jungkook's house is now guarded by 2 units of tactical vehicles commonly used by special security forces. The police denied providing security, and BTS's agency did not give any statement. But CCTV footage of residents clearly shows 2 armored vehicles parked in the area in front of the gate of Jungkook's house. Who placed it? For what? Not long after, a letter appeared from someone who claimed to be the former architect of Jungkook's house project. The letter was published in a community forum, which was immediately closed for no reason. The content is short but stumbling. The house will be a witness when everything collapses. He has been preparing for this since the age of 20. This sentence makes things cloudy,